Boy, sorry I'm late, guys, or I guess I'm almost late, but we are here for AEW Dynamite. Live reaction from March 9th, 2022, AEW Revolution Fallout tonight, and a big possibility that a certain charismatic enigma might be showing his painted face tonight on Dynamite, and that will be sweet. So, Ronnie, good to see you, man. Me and Ronnie have been Twitter DM buddies all day. Glad you're here, my friend, and everybody else already hanging out in the chat. All right, I can be seen up there and heard, hopefully. We're looking good. All right, and Big Bang Theory or whatever the hell is wrapping up now. And it's time for Dynamite. What do you guys think we're going to see tonight? Scorpio Sky and Sammy Guevara for the TNT title. Jericho and Eddie Kingston are going to have some sort of a confrontation segment, something like that. And also, I think Moxley and Danielson might be doing something, if I saw that correctly as well, with William Regal. And yeah, should be a fun show, and it'll be interesting to see how they follow up from what I think was a really good Revolution on Saturday, despite the fact there were no title changes. Still a solid pay-per-view, man. Fun shit. All right. Here we go. Dynamite. A lot of talk today. Fightful Select reporting that Tony Khan and AEW have been trying to get the Jeff Hardy theme song that's, can be licensed. WWE doesn't own that. And we've been talking since the rumors of Jeff Hardy started that it would be cool if he came in and had that music, because there should be no reason why AEW can't secure the rights to it. So I'm hoping that all gets worked out, and when he debuts, we can hear that. It's going to be pretty cool. Here comes Jericho to open up the show. Look at him, all disheveled. Well, he doesn't look that bad. His hair is interesting. Not bad shape for somebody in his 50s. Look at his sneakers. Sneakers are back in again, huh? I've noticed that in the last, I guess they've never been out, but dudes are wearing them all the time. I haven't had a pair of like basketball sneakers like that literally since high school. It's the last time I ever had a pair of Jordans or anything like that. Stuff like that stopped being a priority once you got into adulthood and had to pay your own fucking bills. I started not giving a shit about Nikes and name brands and stuff. All right, sing it, Judas. What city are they in? I didn't even catch that tonight. Yeah, Tony does not mind paying for music at all. I don't think it would have anything to do with the price. It would just be a matter of the details behind licensing something like that, and if there's anything that would stop him from being able to do it. I don't think so. Jimmy Fingers, welcome back, man. Good to see you. I got to knock out a super chat. Divine Ricks, I owe you some $10 love in just a second. Let me hear what Jericho's got to say. Thumbs up button, smash, subscribe, all that shit. You guys know what to do. Let's see what Jericho's got to say about Eddie Kingston. He did not shake his hand like he said he would at Revolution. So I feel like Jericho could turn heel here on Eddie.
Last Sunday at Revolution was literally one of the greatest nights of my professional career.
Literally.
And even though my neck is still stiff and sore, and even though I lost to Eddie Kingston by tapping out to the stretch plum, it was still one of the best matches I've ever had in my entire career.
That match was way more fun than I thought it would be. Opened the show on Sunday, too, which I thought was odd, but it turned out to be a great decision. Tremendous match.
And I want to thank Eddie Kingston for that. Because Eddie awakened something in me that I wasn't sure was still there. Eddie brought something out of Chris Jericho that I wasn't sure still existed.
Okay, I've somehow missed Dante Martin getting a title shot, unless you're ribbing me.
After he won the big one and beat Chris Jericho, I didn't live up to my word, and my word is everything. I refused to shake his hand.
Yeah, you're messing with me. You're ribbing. Oh, no, you're not. There it is. World title match. Hangman against Dante. Jesus, man. I should have used that as my thumbnail.
I want to shake his hand.
Shake his hand. I was like, what are they chanting?
Angry, and I need to make it up to Eddie Kingston because he beat me. He deserves my respect. He's got my respect. And tonight, I want to pay my debt to Eddie Kingston. So Eddie,
All right, so Jericho's either going to shake his hand or he's going to turn on him, one or the other. I'm excited for that Hangman Dante match. I've been messing around all day. I haven't really looked at the Dynamite lineups in about since 4 hours ago, so I didn't realize they added all this shit. That's awesome. Moxley and Danielson now teaming up tonight as well, and we got the big HAFO or whatever the hell that is summit in the ring. That could be the spot where we see Jeff Hardy tonight. So things are set up to look pretty good. The pillars, I love it. Look at Jericho. See, don't fall for this shit. Jericho's being all humble and shit, you know. Not only did he beat Jericho, he tapped his ass out. Oh, we're going to get deep. Y'all ready to get deep? I always am.
The Friday night before the show, before the pay-per-view, before the biggest match of my career, I didn't want to show up. I wanted to go out and drink. I wanted to forget about my problems again. I wanted the poison that has eaten me for years to do it again. Because you know what, Chris, you got in my mind. You did. Could I win the big one? I've lost to Mox. I've lost to Brian. I've lost to Punk. I've lost to Miro. I've lost to everybody who I've stepped in the ring.
Miro, yeah, he has lost a lot, hasn't he?
You were right. I was afraid. But you know what happened?
Diet Water, good to see you, man. I owe a lot of shout-outs to people. I'll get to that. Once we get to that there first commercial break, then I'll start doing them outs of shout. See, Jericho, Eddie, you're got street smarts, man. You should be able to see this shit from a mile away. Even we know he's turning heel.
So anyway, you know what gave me the courage? And this is me not kissing your people's asses. But when I had 4 separate
Dante's ranked number 1. No shit. I can't wait to see that match. He's going to give Hangman a hell of a match. It's probably a good match for Hangman to have right now.
did you really think I was going to miss that pay-per-view for that?
Dante is going to make Hangman look great.
After the match, I went to my hotel room, and you can make fun of me all you want, but trust me, I'll still beat you up. I cried in my hotel room.
You cried in your hotel room? That's sad.
Not you, not me.
Do I see Jericho returning to WWE? For the Hall of Fame, yeah. But I don't think for any sort of in-ring run. But shit, you never know. Wrestling's weird these days. But Jericho will do the WWE Hall of Fame thing, no doubt.
All I can say is for those people who are at the Fan Fest, I hope I did you proud. But now we go to the other issue. See, Chris,
I mean, 3 years ago, did you ever think you'd see Eddie Kingston and Jericho working on pay-per-view? Yeah.
I needed to win that match. That handshake was for you. What are you missing inside yourself that made you not want to shake my hand?
Yeah, Jericho.
See, that doesn't seem like an Eddie Kingston problem. That sounds like a Chris Jericho problem.
Maybe he was just mad after the loss, and now he's come to his senses.
Dragging out the man. Look, I don't like him now, but I'm dragging out the man who I looked up to, who was in Japan, who was part of the J Cup, who went out there with the great Eddie Guerrero, with the great
Oh, Fort Myers is where they are, huh? Okay.
respected. And you forget,
Go make the fort secure. I love you, Fort. You are such a good fort.
no matter what anyone says in the back, no matter what anyone says on Twitter, you proved me wrong and everyone else wrong, because you are still the man and you are still number 1. But
Yes, we are doing WrestleMania Watch Along on this Sunday. We're going to be doing one.
makes you not want to shake my hand or have respect for young guys like me? That's a question you got to answer, partner.
Yeah, partner. You got to answer that question, partner.
Everything you said was right, and I've been obsessing over this for the last 2 nights. I couldn't sleep. I Kingston, I respect you. You have my undying respect. I thank you for giving me one of the best matches of my career.
It was a great match.
If you could please forget about all that other stuff.
Forget about all that other stuff. Just forget about it. Just don't worry about it. Shake my hand. Come on, Mega Powers. Could this be the meaning of the madness and the mania? Yes, there it is. A handshake to seal the deal. Now a coked out promo backstage later on with Mean Gene. This alliance is complete. Oh, Lord. I'd be scared shitless if Daniel Garcia was angrily power walking towards me. I would go somewhere else quickly. Yeah, I was supposed to have my WrestleMania figured out by today so I could tell you guys which one I'm going to do on. I'm going to do it Sunday, Ronnie, not Saturday. Here comes. Here we go. Now they got to. Ooh, maybe there's going to be a new Inner Circle with like. Okay. I kind of thought Santana and Ortiz would turn on Jericho on Sunday and join Eddie Kingston. So maybe something like that will happen here. Oh, Garcia's cornered. Ortiz has got the bat. I love the D's Nuts sign. Let's see if that gets taken away. Oh, there it is. Jericho hit. Yes. So they didn't turn on Jericho and join Eddie. Jericho turned on them and formed his own group with 2.0. I'm guessing he's going to wipe out. Oh, here comes Hager. What's this about? Where's he going to align? How much you want to bet Hager's going to stay with Jericho? I think he's going to. I don't know. Jericho going to hit him with Floyd? Yep, okay. Yeah, Jericho's and Hager going to stick together. Yes. Okay, so maybe Proud and Powerful are just being removed from the Inner Circle, and now Jericho's waylaying on Kingston with a bat. Oh, Jesus. That bat's gimmicked, right? That's just a rubber bat because he was laying in them shots. Oh. Jesus. I mean, I don't know if 2.0 and Garcia are necessarily in the Inner Circle now, but if they are, look at that way he's just wrenching back on that fucking sharpshooter or deathlock or whatever he's got going on there. Like, if these guys are going to be absorbed into this faction, that's Jericho giving a rub to 3 more dudes. Love it. Love it. Love it. I don't know where Sammy is or where he's going to stand in this, but he's got a title match later. He's probably having a hot pocket and doing some relaxing. All right, so Jericho did shake Eddie's hand, but then 2.0 and Garcia attacked. Proud and Powerful came out to make the save, only for Jericho to turn on them, and then Jake Hager to come out and also turn on them and remain with Jericho. And now 2.0 and Garcia are either playing the role of the New Age Outlaws when they teamed up with DX and took out the Road Warriors and were just kind of hanging around for them for that night. Oh, my God. Eddie is not the type of guy that needs to be falling neck first onto a table. It would be really cool if 2.0 and Garcia were part of Inner Circle. Imagine Garcia and Jake Hager together. Imagine them as a tag team. Big and little, but both tough. Jericho Appreciation Society. JAC? Or JAS? JAC. JAS. And now you're going to flip us all off? Jericho, you dastardly motherfucker. Good for 2.0, man. Getting cut by WWE is the best shit that ever happened to them. Yeah, I agree. The table spots are a bit nuts, and that one was way too much. Oh, the dog collar match. Anywho, I don't even know if Divine Ricks is in the chat here or not, but like 2 hours ago, he dropped in $10 in the chat here, and I want to say thank you for that. Hey, Greg, it's Wednesday, so you know what that means. I'm pretty sure I do. So many interesting tonight. I'm really looking to see what's next for MJF, Wardlow, and CM Punk. Looks like we might be getting a taste of that next. Don't forget to hit the thumbs up, guys. Yes, listen to Divine earlier on. Janine and Lil Justin and Andy. We've got Jay Lambo, Michael Cuomo, C4J, excuse me. Deshaun is in the house. Who else? Red Raven, Rucker, Yachiro, Rodrigo, Ronnie, Martin, Ruben, Chaz, Alex, Roderick, WWE fan, Alex, Jimmy Fangers, J.R. Falls, sorry, I can't read, Sunnyman, Ratnick, Kevin. My day is going great, my friend. Thank you so much. And Diet Water is back. That's awesome you're here. And Victor Cologne, right on. Oh, we got more. We got a lot more. Who the hell is this? Oh, Michael, thank you for that $2, dude. If the move is put on well, it's a sharpshooter. Exactly. Garcia, I really liked his twist on him. My biggest problem with the sharpshooter is that nobody ever knew how to do it really well. The only guy in modern times I can think of that really did it perfectly was Cesaro, was doing a really good sharpshooter. But Sting's always sucked, and that one by Garcia was fucking great. Skull Vikings is in the house as well. Right on. JCS is here. 86. Nice. All right. I love that we're getting this fucking match right now. Dante and Hangman. And here he comes. I like that this match is just randomly for the title. Jericho Appreciation Society, such a weird name for a faction. Yeah, Rodrigo, I saw that Ziggler picked up the NXT title last night. We mentioned that on Monday on the Raw review. I said that I don't think that Braun's going to drop the belt yet, but NXT is different. It's not like it was before. So I think the pace of guys moving up to the main roster and shit like that are going to come very quickly. And we saw Braun on Monday on Raw. So I said, it's a triple threat. It's very possible that Ziggler could win the title by beating Ciampa, and they can either, number one, move Braun up, or they can position him to win the title back on WrestleMania weekend, whatever they choose to do. So I'm not as surprised about that as some are. I kind of thought it was possible. So I'm happy. I'm happy for Ziggler. It's something for him to do, something significant. He's a veteran, been in the WWE system for a long time, and he's probably a guy in the locker room that could offer a lot of advice to the young crew. The workhorsemen taking on Mox and Danielson later. That's going to be great. Wardlow's got shit to say. He's got his big brass ring with him. Yeah, Breaker coming to the main roster is early for modern times since the NXT days and the developmental days and stuff. But, man, back in the day, fucking WWE was putting guys on pay-per-view in their first match. Mark Henry's very first match ever came on pay-per-view. There's a lot of guys that back in the day they would stick in the ring immediately, way before they were ready. At least with Braun Breaker, he has had a lot of time, working at the Performance Center. His dad is a wrestler. He's probably better and more far along than most guys. Honestly, I know that Braun Breaker's got just as much developmental training as The Rock did when he debuted in 1996. So it seems early for today's standards, but in the overall history of wrestling, it's not really early at all. Look at Hangman just rolling right through that. Come on, one more step. Ugh. Fucking. If I'm on my knees and I'm like, and I have my cat in my hands, I struggle to get to my feet, much less a human being. Yeah, which one are we doing, y'all? I was supposed to have this figured out, y'all, right now to tell y'all. But which WrestleMania are we going to do on Sunday? I had some ideas. I had 3 in mind, WrestleMania 3, but I think I want to go something a little more modern. I thought about maybe WrestleMania 20, maybe 23 has been tossed around a few times. I don't think we've ever watched 21 together. I kind of like that idea. We haven't watched 18. I don't really want to watch. I do probably want to watch WrestleMania 30, but I don't want to watch anything beyond WrestleMania 30. I think the latest I want to go would be like 25 or 26 or something. Not even 26. 25 is the furthest I want to go. 24 would be fun with the Flair stuff and all of that. So I don't know. 12, no, I don't want to do 12 only because, Mike, it was back in the days when WrestleMania was only 2 hours and 45 minutes long, and one match is an hour long. So that means it's just going to be a whole lot of talking if we're watching an hour-long match and it's nothing. What the fuck are we going to do? What are we going to react to? We'll just be reading the chat mostly. So 12 is probably never going to be done only because it's a one-match card. It's just not worth it, I don't think. 25 or 21 sounds good. I do like 3. 14, I could be into WrestleMania 14 maybe. But there's a few things about that show I don't love either. Although you guys can see it right above my head here. I'll try to point to it right where my finger is there. That is the WrestleMania 12 plaque that's signed by Shawn Michaels and a piece of the ring. Right next to my Bret Hart autographed picture. Bret and Shawn autographs side by side. Hope they're getting along up there. You guys getting along? Watch out for screw jobs. Oh, Mike, it's an excellent 60-minute match. I fucking love that match. I'm a Bret Hart mark. So naturally that match was going to be close to my heart because it was so good. That was the very first WrestleMania I watched in my own apartment. It was I moved out the previous year from my parents' house after graduating high school, and that was the first pay-per-view I ordered in my own apartment. I had a girl roommate back then. Her name was Stephanie. She was the first roommate I ever had. She was a friend of my bartender at work, and I was looking for a roommate, and she was looking for a roommate, so we hooked up. It was just platonic. We never dated or anything. Oh, Jesus, what a springboard. Drop kick, bitch, drop. So last night we watched, haven't seen this movie since I was a kid. We watched The Last Boy Scout, Damon Wayans and Bruce Willis. I think that movie is where the bitch slap was invented. I have no idea. But Damon Wayans says bitch slap in the movie, and Halle Berry's in it. And she reacted like she never heard it. But she goes, bitch slap? And he goes, yeah, bitch slap. So maybe that's where bitch slap was invented. I don't know. Oh, look out. Here comes Dante. You can't even cut away. The camera can't even cut away, and he's already on a different corner or on a different rope. He's not where you left him, basically. I like guys like Dante because, a lot of guys can, do flips and do moonsaults and shit like that. The talent these days is so athletic. But, when you can find a guy that's just so smooth, he's got that grace to him. The guy in WWE I can think of that's kind of similar to that would maybe be Montez Ford because of just the insane height he gets. But I almost like Dante a bit better, in terms of his overall in-ring stuff. Yeah, good for Hangman. I'm glad that he's rocking the colors, especially with the cowboy gimmick, you know? Making sure, like, yeah, I'm definitely a cowboy, and I like my cowboy shit, but don't for 1 second think I think the same way as y'all. I kind of like that. Good for him. Oh, Jesus, the mat's not there. Oh, my God. Jesus. Oh, no. Nailed him with that ball game. I felt like Dante had a little bit of time to perhaps duck that buckshot, but good stuff. Quick to the point. He didn't give him too much, as some fans on Twitter like to pretend. Started watching wrestling in 2006 and is worried about guys selling too much. You gotta love this community. Yeah, Montez is fantastic. The thing about Montez, like, I think Dante might be a little bit better overall in the ring, but I think Montez, has got the more charisma to him. Like, I could see him being a star in WWE. I could see WWE making him a star because he's entertaining, he's comfortable on the mic, and he has charisma. And then you add that to his stupid athleticism. Dude could be money. Kind of worry about Dawkins one day. Okay. So he beat Cole. Are we going to get a return match with Cole, or does he move on to another challenger? Oh, Dante, get your ass back in there. Get your ass back in here. He's like, okay. Hey, I don't want to hear or see Corey or Carmella's name mentioned in here because I don't want to vomit on camera. Look at the champ giving him some love. How this touches my heart. Good for Hangman. What a nice guy that Hangman is.
So, I know Darius is back. I know you guys will be going for the tag titles, but let me tell you, you are one of the hardest hitting, one of the fastest guys I've ever wrestled in my life. And I want to tell you, should you make it back here, I'd be glad to do it again.
Good, I like that. Nice. What a classy champion. Is that Cole? It's got to be Cole.
Look at you, Hangman. Look at you. You're on top of the world, right? You're untouchable. Well, Sunday at Revolution, I proved that you're not untouchable.
Yeah, Montez does things that humans shouldn't be able to do, and that's what kind of sets him apart, you know?
And you gave me everything that you had. So congratulations, Hangman. You got a fluke victory against Adam Cole.
A fluke victory. Yeah, I love that too. I'm sure parts of Twitter will find something to hate about it, but people like us, we like to see that. It was awesome.
Oh, is that right? Is that right? It is right. As a matter of fact, let's put that to the test, shall we? Come on, let's do it. Because next week on Dynamite, I'm challenging you to a 6-man tag team match.
Ooh.
You can pick any 2 goons that you want. Sure, okay. Because as far as my partners, I have 2 very specific young men in mind.
Oh, good.
2 guys who know you better than you know yourself. One of the best tag teams in the entire world, and 2 guys who are my friends, not yours.
The Buckaroos or the Dragons?
So, I'll give you a week to process all this, Hangman, but let me tell you right here, right now, I am going to make your life an absolute living hell. Because your days as the AEW World Champion are numbered. And I will not stop until I get what I want.
I mean,
I will not stop
aren't all champions' days technically numbered?
until I hear the word.
Even Roman's days are numbered. Might be a lot of fucking numbers, but eventually you'll get to the number. We should reassess that phrase. All right, well, Cole and Page not done yet. 6-man next week, I think is what he said. Is he putting over the tag team that he's going to face as like one of the greatest tag teams in the world, and then he swerves the Bucks and says it's Red Dragon instead? Is that what they're kind of going for here? I have no idea.
Get the parts fast and the job done faster.
Tower cam for hey, folks, we seem to have a visitor. It looks like
you spent too much.
Montez is like an NBA Jam character in real life. He is. He is. I got NBA Jam right over there on the shelf. Maybe we'll play some of it. Street Profits versus Lucha Brothers. Who would win? Us and also Lucha Brothers. Watching the mannerisms by the lady ref. She's reacting to the maneuvers. I love everybody who shits on Aubrey Edwards because she's no different than Brian Hildebrand. He did the same thing, and he's a legend. So it has nothing to do with her, and it has everything to do with people looking for something to attack AEW about, and they've just made up that reason. I'm not saying you're doing that, Roderick, but I've seen a lot of that on Twitter, which is really funny because if you watch wrestling for a long time, you'll come across some great referees that do some weird shit in there. So it's a weird thing to attack her over. Oh, Jimmy Fingers. So if Cody does not arrive to take on Seth Rollins, it's going to be Undertaker to get that true final match in front of a Dallas crowd. I can understand maybe doing that, but then you're taking that away from AJ Styles. And I think, Jimmy, the better option here is for the Austin Kevin Owens segment to have a parade of Texas legends coming out, because they're not going to do a match. Austin doing the right thing there, kind of protecting his legacy. It's going to be a fight and a brawl that's going to begin as a KO show and devolve into that. But Kevin Owens has been running down Texas. He's now called out JBL, Booker T, Shawn Michaels, all these guys by name. So what I think you do is you have Owens and Austin brawl with each other. Maybe Seth gets involved in that. I don't know. And then once Austin is done with Owens, then out comes JBL to hit him with a clothesline from hell. Then comes Booker T to hit him with the spinneroonie or the scissor kick. Then Shawn Michaels comes down to hit him with the super kick. And just when you think it's all over, the lights go down. Keep rolling, rolling, rolling. Out comes the American Badass on a motorcycle, rides down to the ring, choke slam, tombstone to Owens. Big Texas wrestler celebration in the crowd in Dallas. That's what they're going to do. That's how I've got it all laid out in my head. So let's see how close to that I turn out to be. Good to see Regal. Oh, my God. I can't get over this. And he's with William Regal. Don't know the backstage deal on that name. I'm glad that he's able to be William Regal. Now, I don't know if Hogan's going to make an appearance or not. I mean, he was there last year. He could technically be here this year, but I don't think so. I think that with Austin there, there's no need for Hogan, no use for Hogan whatsoever. Especially if you want to like have The Rock come out at the end, which I also think might happen, and get in the face of Roman Reigns setting up WrestleMania 39. Jan! 45-4-1. Unreal. I haven't read any Cody updates in the last 48 hours, so don't know what the latest is, if anything has been revealed today, but I'm cool with not knowing. I just want to see him turn up. I think he's going to WWE. I do. with all the change in the rumors and the stuff we've been hearing, the back and forth and stuff, I've kind of always felt like he was coming in. So I don't see any reason yet to back off that. Because everybody was like, oh, he's going to come at WrestleMania, or he's going to come the night after WrestleMania. But then once he didn't show up like right away, then people started questioning it and all that. I just still think he's coming in. I would love to see Mick Foley come in and do something with AEW. Yeah, X-Pac too. Depending on what their Legends deals, if they have them with WWE, permits them to do. Yeah, Kevin, my eye is on Jeff Hardy tonight. I'm putting something in the place of Cody on my overlay for every week until he turns up somewhere. So tonight it's Jeff Hardy. I can't think of who this guy. I think he just looks like one of my friends is what it is. The dude Danielson's wrestling. What's his name? He looks like somebody I know, and I just can't place it. Oh, I didn't realize tonight was win number 50 for the Hanger. Good for him. Oh. And there's that Thunder Rosa and Layla Hirsch match coming up later. Winner that's going to face Britt next week. I think we know how that's going to go. I passionately defended the decision to keep the title on Britt at the pay-per-view. It didn't bother me any. It amazes me when fans don't get the finish they want. What little bitches they turn into. Oh, my God, the whining. I'm like, just chill out, man. Fucking patience. Didn't your parents ever teach you that? 2 weeks, man. Thunder Rosa's going to get the fucking match of a lifetime against Baker. She's going to win that title in the main event instead of in a poorly placed match on a pay-per-view. Give that match its own stage, Unless they opt not to do that, then yeah, I would have put the belt on Thunder Rosa at the pay-per-view. Gee, oh, my God. What a team this Mox and Danielson are. I just don't understand, are they a tag team? Is that what they're going for here? Put these two together as a tag? I'd rather see a stable with these guys than a tag, but I guess, they're going to have some tag matches. I mean, it feels like they should be instant tag team champions, but to me with Mox and Danielson, this would be so much better as a stable. That way, this is kind of uncharacteristic of these guys to have two veterans with an even more veteran manager. You got to get some young people involved in this for the rub. So that means they're either going to be working with a lot of young teams like they are now, or they're going to add young people to this group. Terrible looking dive there by Mox. Big running knee. Up stomp JD Daniel, son. Yeah, if Britt retains next week, then I'll be like, okay, that surprised me. But, predictable is not always bad. Drake taps out. Regal looks pleased. I look pleased. Right on. Should be a fun team, just depending on what they do. I mean, if they're really going to get in the tag team title mix, That's going to add a super good team to a division that already has a whole bunch of really good teams. Poor JD Drake just taking an ass whipping. Yeah, Alex, I didn't even think about that. Regal and Shivani. Look at this shit. In the ring for the first time since 1998, I would think. First time they've been around each other since Regal was booted from WCW. He was in WWE pretty much all that time. He never went to TNA or anywhere else. Regal and Schiavone. So crazy. That's so great. Regal smiling like me.
Mr. Shivani, I thought we'd never do this again. It's been 29 years since I
Damn.
first came to America and we were on TBS together.
29 years.
29 years. Time has flown by.
That's awesome.
My time is flying by. I'm 53 now.
53?
And let's face it,
That's all he is?
more than the hard life.
You're only 8 years older than me, William Regal. Jesus Christ.
Through battles with myself.
Oh, man. I'm going to die soon, y'all.
Probably in the next, I don't know, till I'm 65, 12 years, till the wife's pushing me to the sunny window so I can look out while a bit of toast is dripping out of my mouth. Because I know that I'm not long for this world.
He's not long for this world.
Empty bottles, thousands of them, and a few broken hearts, sweetheart.
Oh, yeah, Regal, of course. He used to party back in the day, man.
I see you haven't found a decent tailor in all that time either.
Yeah, he's wearing an earring, too. I mean, can we not give him shit about the earrings?
What I'm out here to do, obviously to be with these incredible gentlemen here. But this is the first time, please allow me, this is the first time that I actually get to thank you on camera because 29 years ago when I came here, we don't need to get into the story now, but you helped me in more ways than you can ever imagine.
Oh, he's super emotional about this.
The first people that really helped me when I came here.
Yeah. That's awesome. That is so awesome.
Enough of being nice.
I never knew much about their personal relationship. They just haven't worked together since, Regal was in WCW.
Sticking by. And obviously, I am no longer required in my old job. And for 2 months, I've sat at home and I completely and utterly checked out of this industry that I've been in for 39 years this year. And then somebody told me that my friend, Brian Danielson, had mentioned me on AEW Dynamite.
Did he really? Oh, yeah, I guess he did.
And it piqued my interest because then I had to go and watch. And then I found out that my great friend here of 21 years, Wilson, was going to fight John Moxley. Now, some of you, probably a lot of you, because the time frame, it's 39 years since I first came here. So most of you, whether you know this or not, the only reason that you know me, probably from 20 years ago, if you're a fan, is because of this young man. Because every time his name was mentioned, whether it be on Ring of Honor or any other company around the world, my name got mentioned with him. And so it made a young group of wrestlers realize that as much of a rogue that I am, and that's when I get to you in a minute, because I'm riddled with it, you know that, Tony, riddled with it to the core. But as much of a rogue that I am, what I will do, if somebody wants to work hard, is make them a better professional wrestler.
See? They might be doing the faction route here.
First thing I will do, is which I did to this young man, is sit him down and tell him everything, not what to do. And that will save him 10 years of his career. This is the wrestler that I should have been. He is the perfect wrestler. And there was a time when we spent time together where we would train in the ring with a group of people, and then they would leave, and then he would stay with me, and we would stay from, I don't know, 3 or 4 o'clock in the afternoon until past midnight every single night for 5 months, and we learned. And that's when we really learned. And for the next whatever amount of years, I sent you to different places or mentioned you or doesn't matter. You became everything that I could never be because you don't have the problems that I have. Okay. Then, 11 years ago, I met you.
Trying to think what interactions they have in WWE. I don't remember.
Problems that we put upon each other would make the devil cry. So when I knew that you two were going to knock the stuffing out of each
The
other,
stuffing.
I thought it was time to come along. And because you're men and you did it the right way in the ring, I thought I'd seen enough, and so I came out. And I thought, what better could this younger generation of wrestlers have than the perfect combination? The perfect wrestler and the perfect and utter sadistic person that will take things to a completely other level.
It's an interesting
And so that's what
style contrast, which I like.
And just a warning to every single person that steps in the ring with them. You will not like the outcome. And you either will step up or you'll get stepped on. While William Regal
Laying down the law.
here at AEW, but right now, our very own Alex Marvez is standing by with Dark Order. Dark Order, coming off of Revolution, what is your relationship with Hangman Adam Page?
I can answer that one right now. Hey, look. Sunday, I'm sorry, man. My temper got the best of me, and I shouldn't have shot you, and I just wanted to come here and tell you.
Oh, he came and said sorry to the Dark Order.
Yeah, I screwed up, man. I'm sorry. Everything's okay. Everything's okay, man.
You can make it up to the Dark Order with a to-go order from Chili's.
Actually, I was thinking maybe switch it up. Maybe Al and Anna could be something really
Anna J. Stop it.
I just saw Dino and Jungle Boy in the hall. They said they wanted to get their hands back on Young Bucks. So I don't know. It was awkward. I didn't know what to say. I just told him yeah. So I mean, it's gonna be them. No, that's cool, man. Do your thing. I have a beard appointment next week anyway. We got a class, a yoga class, and
Yoga class, yeah, that happens.
okay, cool. I'm gonna get changed. I'll catch back up with you guys later. Is it cool? Okay. All right. Cool. All right.
They're going to turn on him,
Roberts to the ring.
aren't they? All right, here comes Wheeler, and I don't know how many friends he's going to have. Looks like two. Two friends. Nope, 3 friends. Here comes Danhausen. No, 4 friends. Trent's there too. Is Danhausen a best friend, or is Danhausen just a Danhausen? A friendhausen. A besthausen. Oh yeah, Dark Order turn. Faux show. John Silver isn't good at being a liar. He's too fucking goofy. You'd see through that shit so easily. Creepy guy is back. I don't know if I'd really describe myself as creepy. I don't know, maybe, kinda. Yeah, you're probably right, Janine. I'm back. Look at Alex. I'm assuming you mean him. His shit looks stupid. Like, I don't like that. I like the House of Black, and I like some of the gothic stuff to a degree, or whatever it's called. But whatever Alex is doing, he looks like he's just a really bad Halloween costume. He's a very scary best friend. There you go.
Wheeler Yuta is a great athlete, but the last thing I would want to do is get in the ring with someone like the Bastard Pack. And how about Regal, huh? Get your picks in March.
I think one of the only, you know what the most over thing Brutus the Barber or Bruce Beefcake ever did was getting Scary Sherry over. I remember the promo he cut. I was watching it with my cousin. He was like on the Brother Love show, and he was talking about Sherry when he was starting his feud with Macho. And he just started going, Sherry doesn't seem sensational. She seems scary. Yeah, scary Sherry. and it caught on, like, even years later, like when my friends and I would casually discuss wrestling, we would still call her Scary Sherry, all because of that. Scary Sherry, Scary Sherry. So I don't know what made me think of that. I think it was the Scary Danhausen thing. But when you think about Beefcake and everything he did, that was the most over thing he ever did, was creating a super popular nickname that people said, regardless of whether she was going to be sensational or sensuous, she was always going to be scary.
It's that time again. Sneakers squeaking.
All right, we are good over here. Right on.
And fans eating Arby's Reuben while they coach from their
Okay, FCW or Mox and Regal met each other. I'm sure they had some sort of an interaction or something on the main roster at some point. I just have no idea when. So I couldn't recall their history, if their history was ever televised or if it was more of a behind-the-scenes deal. But either way, I'm sure Regal had an influence on a lot of guys because just his presence, you know, if he was there doing whatever, and especially his time in NXT and the developmental stuff, he's a guy, if I was a wrestler, I'd want to learn from, you know. Or one of the guys anyway. It'd be an interesting thing to do, actually, if you're an aspiring wrestler. I'd be writing down who I want to train me. I'm like, okay, I want Brett and Sean and Kurt Angle, all these guys. Can we just gather them all in a room and they all just teach me to work? I only thought about wrestling school one time in my life, and I talked to the Malenkos in Florida. So if I would have gone to wrestling school, I would have trained with Dean Malenko. He was the one I chose just because of the proximity to me. There were schools in North Carolina, but none I gave a shit about. And that one I thought was doable in terms of like going down there and received the letter. All it was left to do was for me just to send in the money and make the move. But ultimately, you know, I just was happy with my life and decided not to do it. But Malenko would have been the guy to train good mic wrestler if that would have ever happened. I don't regret it. I don't have scrambled brains. I'm not addicted to painkillers. I'm not dead. So I'm happy with my decision. Don't regret it one bit. Divine Ricks, what's up, dude? I did. Thank you for that $10 drop from earlier. Not sure if you heard that or not, but thank you for that. And thank you for this one, $5. Hey, Greg, do you think Jericho's new group is going to attack Sammy tonight? Maybe. Didn't think about that. I thought Sammy was kind of staying put because he had his title match, but Hangman already had his match, so Sammy and Scorpio will probably main event unless the Hardy family thing main events, and that's where Jeff Hardy comes out. But, yeah, Jericho's new group, you got to wonder where Sammy lies in that. I don't want to see Scorpio Sky win the title, but he might. He's going to have to face Wardlow, which might work. Wardlow turned babyface. Essentially, you would think, at Revolution. Ooh, Wheeler with a near fall on Pac there. So now that Wardlow's babyface, I'm completely, not that I predicted anything anyway, but yeah, I think Scorpio Sky is going to win the championship tonight. I think he's going to win it, bring it into Dan Lambert's team, and they're going to have a big old circle jerk over it. They're going to go crazy. They're going to be so happy, and then they're going to run into Wardlow in 1 week, and Scorpio's going to drop it to him. I kind of hope they do that. I hope Scorpio gets the championship for 1 night, or for 1 week, excuse me. Yeah, I'm picking Scorpio tonight. A non-wrestling role, manager, announcer, maybe, perhaps, but where I was at my life in the time, I just wasn't able to make that type of commitment, you know? I feel like now I could do something like that, but back then, I was living on my own, paying my own way. I didn't have a ton of money in savings. I was just working and enjoying myself. I had friends. I had a girlfriend. I had a life, and it just, to uproot all of that, I don't think I was mentally mature enough to do it, to be honest, at that age. That all this was going down. I was about 20 and 21 when I was thinking about all this. So just wasn't ready. There it is. Wheeler taps out. Plus, all the connections I had in wrestling were almost like too high up. I like knew Vince McMahon's like secretary, but I didn't know any local wrestling trainers, you know, that could maybe get my foot in the door, get me a tryout or something like that. I got backstage in WWE and shit like that, but, you know, never to aspire to have any sort of job or position there. So I should have gone like the other route and tried to find, you know, how the Hardy Boys did it, you know, by going and just being enhancement talent for a while and, you know, build yourself from there. I'm surprised these guys aren't fighting. I can't believe this is all. Cole is like, I left NXT to fucking come babysit these two teams.
In the six-man tag team matchup. Because Hangman Adam Page, I have two guys who are just the perfect partners for me. Because these two guys, they live in your head rent-free 24/7. These two guys
I hate that phrase. I mean, if you're living in someone else's head rent-free, doesn't that mean you're kind of like living in public housing or something? Like, would you want to live anywhere that was rent-free? I don't think so. It's probably dirty, mold, previous tenants were fucking pigs, plumbing doesn't work, no air, no central heat and air. Probably smells like Parmesan cheese and Slim Jims. Why the fuck would you want to even live in someone's head? Hell no. Jesus. Speak faster, Excalibur. Okay, so here we go. Okay, look. Okay. Emergency board board meeting is happening after the break, and look at the time. Top of the hour. Nice.
Don't give up what you love. State Farm has options to personalize your policy so you get a rate that fits your budget.
That's great.
Subtitles would be nice. For surprisingly great rates that fit any budget, like a good neighbor.
So I don't know what this
What it takes to get a quote today.
New Spicy Lovers Pizza from Pizza Hut. Heard so good with this spicy meal.
I don't know how they're going to like factor in Jeff coming out here, you know? Like, is he going to disband this whole thing and Matt and Jeff are now going to be a tag team? It feels like they've been kind of hinting towards that with Matt being a little bit weird. And I didn't realize we had 3 championship matches tonight. We had the TNT, the World, and the tags all on the line. That's awesome for tonight. I should have paid more attention to the card. Regal on Broken Skull would be cool. They should have already done that. They missed the boat there. Yeah, I hope Regal's got a good deal. I hope whatever he's doing in AEW is good for him financially, and he'll have more of a role there. I think we'll see maybe a little bit more of Regal and maybe a little bit less of people like maybe Jake Roberts or maybe even Tully at some point. I'd be into that. The more and more of these type of people become available, I think Regal is way more capable than Jake at this point in his life. You know, Jake was doing some fun shit out there. He was even taking some bumps and throwing some offense and stuff, but he's still Jake, and he's been through hell, and he's probably not in the greatest health. You know, Regal's only 53, which blew my mind. I thought he was older than that. But I feel like he's a more effective manager at this point. Nice. Your cousin wrestling in high school and college. I knew a lot of guys on the wrestling team in my high school. And, man, I would mess around with them on the mat, and they would make me look so bad. I was just blown away. I never had any interest in joining the wrestling team, just didn't really care much for the sport. But I almost wish I would have, because to see like how truly strong they were. You know, I always considered myself like I can handle myself or whatever. He'd throw me down and I couldn't even fucking move under him. Granted, he was heavier than me, but still, like, they would just own me, and I would just be like, man, I got to get myself in better shape. All right, FTR and Tully. FTR's love for Bret Hart makes me love them.
All the way up until my beautiful, perfect little baby girl was born. And to be able to go back to Asheville, North Carolina, and tell my little
Asheville, North Carolina. Love that city.
Daddy and Uncle Dan got to do the same thing first. So I'm looking at you, Red Dragon, and I'm looking at you, Young Bucks, and I'm telling you, just 1 second. When you guys got me involved, it was about championships. You
I feel like they're going to turn on Tully.
And I understand family. I've got one too. And we got to go home and we got to get our kids this. But I'm telling you, AEW is about you guys winning the championship the second time. This is about my family. This is about my family.
Hey, you know what? You know what? This is about family, and you're not it. You're fired.
You're fired. I just literally said we might see Tully take a step back, and 1 segment later, he's fired. Weird. Okay, here we go. I can feel it.
I came out here tonight to start fresh. I wanted to make amends and make everything right with the AHFO. You, Andrade, you came out here because you want to fire me from the company I started here in AEW. Hey, amigo. Tranquilo. Take it easy. What happened to you? You, Mr. Steve, what happened with your suit?
What happened to your suit?
No, I don't need that. You see, I apologize for treating you poorly. I apologize to you guys, and I apologize to my kids.
He's kind of wearing Hardy Boy pants, sort of.
It seems like every time I put on a suit, I transform into an asshole. You know what that's about. He certainly does.
Yeah, Andrade's like, where's your suit? Why you not wear your suit? Fucking love Andrade.
Seriously?
Seriously? Every time I put on a suit, I'm an asshole.
They seem to agree.
If that music plays, I'm going to mark out.
Okay. We will take a vote.
Take a boat.
I'm down for taking a vote, but I don't know how good your arithmetic is. You cannot vote me out because my kids, Mark Quinn and Isaiah Cassidy, are never going to vote me out. So, if you want me to stay in the AHFO, vote thumbs up. If you want me to be fired, vote thumbs down. You go ahead and vote first.
Thumbs down.
Stay.
Uh-oh, here we go. Uh-oh, there's going to have to be a tiebreaker or something. And Butcher and the Blade.
See? I told you. My boys were not going to vote.
Oh, okay. Butcher and Blade aren't in this? They can't thumb it? They're not allowed to thumb? Oh, shit. Oh, shit. Oh, shit. Oh, shit.
We can do great things in How you know?
How you know? How you know?
You always
Darby doesn't work for Sting. How you know?
wash your back.
Watch your back. Look out. Oh, crap. Will Jeff Hardy make the save, or are we just not going to fucking see Jeff Hardy at all? Oh, Lord. All right, we got a babyface getting beat down here. You got a free agent brother. Is he going to show up? No. Oh. Well, if Jeff was here, he'd be out here by now because your brother's getting his ass kicked. Why would you be stalling at this point? I'm not looking at the chat at the moment just in case you guys are ahead of me. Oh, Darby. Okay, I was about to say maybe Darby and Sting first. and then Jeff Hardy. Be cool to see Darby and Jeff in the same ring. How many times I harped on the fact that I thought Darby had so much more in common with Jeff Hardy than he does with Sting. And Jeff Hardy should come in and be Darby's mentor because they make more sense together. It will be kind of funny to see if he comes out here. Yeah, it's not good for Darby and Sting because they're still outnumbered, but not for long. Oh, they're going right at it. I mean, there's a Jeff Hardy sign in the crowd, for fuck's sake. I mean, come on. Let's hear that sweet song. That sweet sound. Come on, man. You're teasing me. I'm ready to explode. Yeah, boy. Yes. Yes. And he's here with the song. He's got the song. Oh, man. Yes. Fucking love it. Go, Jeff. Get you some. You don't have that ridiculous paint all over his face. I love it. I mean, he'll probably still do that, but... Damn. Hardy. Big Hardy chance. Look at this. Fucking Swanton. Hardy's back together. Darby and Sting. So cool. That's so awesome. That's so cool. Look at that. I love hearing this shit. It's so weird.
Wow, what a moment. But right now, our very own Tony Schiavone standing by with one of the newest additions to AEW.
That's so crazy.
Great fan response, guys, for Shane Swerve Strickland at Revolution. His debut will come up now, wrestling this Friday at Rampage.
You know I'm hyped for this.
Yeah, man.
Debut in AEW, baby Tony. We go way back.
We do, bro.
Welcome to AEW. I mean, everyone is so excited.
Tony Nese and Swerve. That's kind of cool. Have they had any matches together in NXT? They probably have.
But that's besides the point. Swerve, you don't have an opponent this Friday. And seeing as me and you have a history of wrestling each other on Friday nights, I think it would be perfect if the premier athlete welcomed you properly to AEW.
You know, I was wondering who's going to be the first person to interrupt my interview here at AEW Dynamite. And of course, it'd be you, Tony. So, yeah, let's revisit our Friday nights here on Rampage. And I'm going to bless you again, like I used to, by beating that ass. Because this ain't Niece's house. Remember, it's whose house?
Swerve's house.
Swerve's house.
Swerve's house. Okay.
See you on Friday. Yeah, you will.
Not everything was built to support a big guy like me.
Well, that's pretty fucking awesome. Yeah, I'm glad to see Swerve there, too. He's great. He's going to be fun. So I'm trying to think now. I know some people don't care about this theme music stuff. I just find it fascinating that Jeff Hardy and CM Punk now are really the only guys in history to really, truly take the complete, exact song from one promotion to another. You know, Randy Savage, it was still a different version. There's been some guys that have had similar themes, but not the same theme, or a knockoff version of the previous theme, or something like that. Never the exact fucking song. And now it's happened twice just in a matter of 8 months. It's pretty incredible, I think, that this is stuff we're starting to see happen. That's really awesome. There was never really a problem before because, you know, you never, even back in the day in the 90s and when, you know, the use of music was probably a lot more lenient. You still didn't see, a lot of themes transferring because a lot of them were made in-house. So crazy. And Jim Ross is another guy, but again, that's not his song. That's the Oklahoma Fight song. So WWE doesn't own that either. So yeah, technically, Rodrigo, you are right. Jim Ross is another guy, because Cult of Personality is not owned by anybody other than Living Color. So you can do that. That's just really awesome that's something. R-Truth, yeah. How does that work? R-Truth, but that's kind of cheating. What did he use in TNA? I mean, as long as it's the same song, if you use the same exact song in one promotion or another, regardless of who owns it or who performed it or anything, I think it counts. So I just don't recall what Truth was doing really in TNA. Is the song he's using now the same as what it was in TNA? Because that's crazy. Goldberg, yeah. Goldberg did, but only for a second, though. C-Mac. Goldberg, I think, came in like his debut with The Rock, I think, was like his WCW version, but WWE created their own version of that theme. So that doesn't even really count either, except for maybe his debut. Okay, so he used What's Up in TNA. I didn't know that. Cool. Okay, so yeah, shit. That's not really cheating. That counts too. So the list is short. You know what I mean? But that's just awesome that Hardy was there. His no compete apparently ended today, so I'm glad that they didn't waste any time. Got him there right away. You could feel it. Those top of the hour segments, good shit always goes down. Here comes the low of Ward's. When it comes to Ward's, he's the lowest of all of them. I am so glad he's not carrying that fucking thing with him. I was kind of worried about it. He's going to do a promo here? Okay. Tony Khan's like, look, WWE, we got a Roman Reigns too. Divine Ricks, thank you for 5 more, dude. I appreciate that. Amazing that we have Jeff Hardy and Darby in the same ring tonight. Darby reminded me of Jeff Hardy more than he does of Sting. I know. Yeah, I've said that many, many times before.
I think we're all very happy to see what you did to MJF with the Dynamite Diamond Ring, but you're still under contract to MJF.
Yeah.
Tony, we all have to come to a moment in life where we have to decide, are we going to help somebody and spend our lives accomplishing someone else's goals and dreams? Are we going to take that step? Are we going to take that chance and fulfill our own?
Okay.
Before Max, I spent too many years spending my life
Sounds like a regular dude.
their dreams while receiving nothing but disrespect.
I'm going to smash Max.
In return. I thought my opportunity with Max was my chance to finally free the wild animal from the circus. Little did I know I was walking out of one cage and entering another. And I found myself spending my energy, my life, making sure Max was fulfilling his dreams.
Boo.
Now, I knew Max wasn't a good person when I signed up for the job, and you will all have to forgive me for associating with such trash.
I forgive you, Wardlow. You're a good dude. I've always been impressed with you.
I grew up very poor, and I had to watch my mother, who has a heart of gold, struggle to raise myself and my 2 older sisters. So at a very young age, I knew I wanted to be a professional wrestler because I fell in love with it, but also because I knew it would grant me the opportunity
Yeah, he came out of the face tunnel, too.
myself, my mother, and my future family with a better life.
Good for you, Wardlow.
Max was my way of getting my foot in the door, and
So I just have a question to ask you younger fans in the chat. Do you see now the differences between a WWE promo and like other companies? Like WWE wouldn't have to do much. Their shit is just so terribly scripted and bland that you don't feel what they're saying ever. You don't care what they're saying ever. He's cut a promo for 3 minutes here, 2-3 minutes, and he's kind of giving you an idea of who he is and why you want to get behind him. It's so easy, you know? But if this was SmackDown, all he would be saying right now is, and at Revolution, when I won this brass ring, I will now get a TNT championship match, and you are looking at the next It would just be such basic, boring shit. He's telling you what his plans are and what he's pissed about. Instead of just the same wrestlers saying the same promo just in a different way. This is why I really do prefer AEW in terms of their angles and stuff, is because of shit like this. I'd rather see a promo like this than a promo by fucking Apollo Crews, you know what I mean? Oh, you're going to let him off the hook? Okay, so I guess his revenge is going to be walking away from him and let Max fend for himself. But this could be where, you know, when Diesel left Shawn brought in Sid. So maybe Max finds a Sid. Wardlow's World, okay. Hey, I like that promo. I wasn't sure if a Wardlow promo was going to be something that I would care much about, but I think he did a good job. I understand you have to have some charisma and be really, you know, over the top and have your volume turned way up, but you still have to talk like a person, you know, and I like that Wardlow seemed a little like a regular kind of person telling you his deal while being a pro wrestler at the same time. There's got to be a balance there instead of being so fucking one way. Hey, good point. On Twitter, I just put on Twitter, I was like, does MJF find a Sid? Ray Frand says maybe a Cage. Brian Cage? I could see that. Give him something to do. Oh, my God. Keith Lee and QT Marshall. I'm not too worried about Keith Lee's safety at the moment. All right, here comes Jungle Man. We got Jungle Man and Libresaurus and Edge coming down to the ring. But how will we know if he intends to win his championship match at the upcoming pay-per-view? I know. Like, every fucking promo, like, I literally don't even listen to them. I mean, I might listen to Roman a little bit. I'll listen to Heyman always, and I'll start to listen to Brock now, obviously. But anybody else, like Charlotte or Sasha, I'll listen to Bayley. But if Charlotte, Sasha, or Becky gets in the ring, I zone completely out. Cannot listen to that stuff. They said Jungle Boy can't grow pubes. I guess they would know. They've probably seen him. All right, we've got Jungle Boy and Luchasaurus defending against Russell Wilson and David Otunga. How about that Russell Wilson trade? Holy shit. Is that going to be good for him, right? Denver? Denver always seems to land on their feet with getting some solid quarterbacks, man. He's had Peyton Manning in there a couple years ago. I didn't even know Seattle was looking to get out of that or vice versa. I had no idea the situation. So that kind of blew my mind yesterday. I'm like, holy crap. Yeah, Austin's not going to have a match. That's why they're doing it. They're framing it with the Kevin Owens. It's basically going to be a match. But I'm glad that they're doing it this way because I'm an old school type of guy and a traditional guy, and I don't want to see Austin diminish that match with The Rock or come out of retirement. I was so proud of Sean for keeping his retirement for so many years. I never thought he would break his word. And then of all matches to do it in, the worst goddamn match we've ever seen in our lives took place. And Sean damaged, in my mind, his legacy. Austin doesn't want to do that. So if you just make it the KO show, Austin doesn't have to wear gear. He doesn't have to hype it like a match. And it doesn't have to go down in the record books. And it can just be a segment instead. And like I said, I can see after Austin is done with Owens parading all of the Texas legends out there, get JBL out there to hit a clothesline from hell, get Booker T to do a spinneroonie, get Shawn to hit him with a super kick, and then bring the American Badass Undertaker out on the motorcycle and hit Owens with a choke slam to seal the deal. All of the Texas legends celebrate, and it's the fans' one last look at the American Badass since the Undertaker winning the Hall of Fame 2 nights before. I think that would be a fun way to go. But no match. This makes me happier that it's not going to be a real technical match. And Austin is smart if he was the one that kind of said, nah, I don't want to actually have a match, but I'll do this. And that protects the match with The Rock. And I appreciate that from Austin because everybody came out of retirement. Everybody, even the people we thought wouldn't come out of retirement, came out of retirement with Shawn when I thought, I was like, if he would have came back, he would have came back to face AJ in previous years, or he would have been coaxed back in to do something way before when he was. So when he came back with the bald head, I'm like, you got to be fucking kidding me. And then Edge, Edge we thought was forced out of it, and then even he came back. So you just never know, man. The only never say never thing is not to joke is, somebody coming back from the dead, That would be the only thing that would be crazy if, we tune into Raw this Monday and Eddie Guerrero returns to WWE and wins the WWE title. Can't happen. But I think literally anything else that's possible can. I'm not sure about what night Austin does the deal. It could be either one. I don't know. I think it could go either way. It just depends. I think WWE is should not get too ahead of themselves by planning out the matches on whatever night, because they're going to change them. They've already changed one, I'm pretty sure, maybe two. And they're going to change more the more they rethink shit and the more Vince is just Vince. So even if they told us on Monday what night it's going to happen on, I wouldn't even bet on it until that weekend. Yeah, the division that Russell is going into isn't even going to make him even close to the best quarterback in the division, which is kind of funny. Okay, so they've announced that it's going to be on Saturday. Okay. That'll be your big attraction. That probably makes sense. Do the Austin thing separate from Brock and Roman. Especially, because so many fans have been bitching about the main event, and I've said that I have no problem with it. But if one way to make that up to the fans is to do something like maybe The Rock coming out and challenging or having a confrontation with Roman, maybe even laying down a challenge for the next year at WrestleMania 39 in LA, they could even set something like that up if they wanted to close the show. And then we'd have to see if Roman can hold on to the title for the whole year until he faces The Rock. Oh, my God. That would be weird. So they could definitely do something like that or potentially save something for the next night on Raw. That's another thing to think about. Think about this. Roman is a SmackDown star. So, I think one good indication of The Rock actually making his appearance, I think The Rock could wait a whole nother year or close to a year until they set up the WrestleMania thing. But if they're looking to give us some mega surprise, if they advertise Roman for Raw after Mania, like if he wins and then they say Roman is going to open the show or on Monday Night Raw or close the show, that should be a good indicator that we would see The Rock. Because I don't think they would wait until Friday to do that. If The Rock was coming in, they would want to make that a night after Mania thing. But if Roman's not on the show and they don't bring him out until Friday, then that might not happen. But it is going to be hard since Monday Night Raw is your next show. Oh, well, actually, no, excuse me. They've gotten themselves out of that by making it a unification. So, yeah, if Roman wins, then he has an actual reason to show up on Raw because he's the WWE champion. I didn't think about that. So, void everything I just said. Bowens missed the, what did he miss there? The fucking boom box? Both women's matches, Austin KO on night one, yeah. And the night two will be saved for the mega one. Could have been another reason why they made a unification if you think about it, because what if this was not a unification? Let's just say Brock Lesnar was not WWE champion and he was only going into WrestleMania to face to face Roman for the Universal title, and then Roman wins. We wouldn't even see Roman until Friday. But that was the very last thing you saw at WrestleMania. That was the main event. He won the main event. To not have that person appear the next night on TV would be weird. So if he was only Universal Champion, then we might not even see him. So that's another reason why the unification works out well, is because they can have the winner of the main event on Raw. Not that the brand extension would stop them from doing any of that anyway, but the unification at least gives you a reason, I'm not expecting a title change here. That's why I'm not paying too much attention to the match. But we'll see. I'll be right back. All right. Hi, I'm back. Whoa. Almost fell down. Thanks for waiting. All right, action on the outside. Bowens has got that boombox again. There was a spot in WWE where they used a boombox. I want to say one of the headbangers got it bashed over their head. Help me out. Who was that? Who was around? Who was alive in 1996 or 7? Oh, my. Where's Lucha? Oh, my God. I thought we legit had new champions there. Who smashed the Headbangers? It might have been the New Age Outlaws, actually. It might have been when they were forming. Actually, I think it was. And like Road Dogg or Billy just cracked a boombox over the head of one of the Headbangers. It exploded. Just evaporated into the air. Just, it was awesome. Fucking loved it. All right, look out. Caster's there with something. Oh, Christian puts a stop to that. Yeah, it was the Outlaws, huh? Yeah. Oh. Are those horns and shit legal that Lucha's wearing? Seem dangerous. Guess I never thought about that before. That is a risk to your eyes if you execute some move on him. Fucking Jungle Boy's legs were wobbly as shit on that top rope. And there it is. Champs retain. Jungle Man pins Bowens. I think it might have been a JVC Kaboom box. I'm not sure. It might have been. Remember the Kaboom of the week? I missed the Kaboom of the week. Jade. That fucking Jade Mortal Kombat gear she was rocking at Revolution was next level. The entire internet lost their shit. Like, Jade's also the type of person that I think could get, like, a movie role, you know? Not like a lead or anything, but just, like, be in a movie. Just be one of, like, the thousands of people that were killed in Kill Bill. Like, just one of the more stronger ones. All right, here comes legit Layla. Somebody pointed out that they are no longer mentioning where Layla is from. She is so low to the ground. All right, here comes Thunder Rosa. People had all sorts of shit to say about that title match. People were so mad. I didn't even notice. Like, I was just about going about my business, making my pay-per-view notes, ready to talk about it. Little did I know Twitter was shitting its pants. I'm like, oh, I was like, I predicted Baker to win, so it wasn't a surprise to me. I don't know why everybody's freaking out. Oh, they're not doing it. I'm like, man, they need a third match in this deal. You got to give Britt a victory too. And now that next week is like the 1 year anniversary of the Lights Out match, and it's in Thunder Rosa's hometown, how do you not do it there? You would have been dumb to do it on Sunday. Give her that moment next week, man. She deserves that. She's earned that. In her hometown, you talk about a guaranteed pop. Even if the match is like a dud or sloppy or botchy or that sucks, she'll still get like a huge pop. And I think they were the victim of kind of poor match placement too, having to come after what MJF and Punk did and stuff on Sunday. So I think a main event match would be much better. That is, if they put it in the main event, which I would hope they would. She's so short, but she's so strong. I think Hirsch also would benefit a little bit from maybe being in a tag team. If she could find like another little shooter to team with, they could be badass, man. But you don't really have tag team titles at the moment, and I don't think you need them yet. But somebody mentioned her in Rodrigo maybe in WWE. I could see WWE putting her in a tag team. Maybe with someone like Zoe Stark or something. Like, she's a badass too. They'd be fun together. Oh, yeah, there's another good point, Divine Ricks. So the cool thing about this main event is we have... Oh, you're talking about next week. Yeah, we talked about that it could kind of go two ways, though. You know, Wardlow could always just completely squash and win the title, and then MJF beats Wardlow for it. So we kind of talked about both scenarios, that it could go either way. MJF could sit back and allow Wardlow to win the title and then come out and make sure that, they have a match together, and MJF then maybe takes the TNT title from Wardlow and gives MJF some gold despite the loss and maybe the punch down the rankings a little bit in the World Heavyweight title contender deal and gives him that. But, MJF is also a guy that I know this phrase is tossed around a lot, maybe too much these days in wrestling, but MJF is a guy that doesn't need a championship, especially maybe an underneath title, to help get him over because he's already super fucking over. So you don't need to put any gold on him right now if you don't want, but, it would sweeten the pot with the Wardlow and MJF feud, and it would give MJF something to take away from him. And plus the all the contractual stuff too. Who knows how that'll affect it. Yeah, the fact that they're putting Sammy in the main event, and Scorpio Sky, and they've been pushing the Dan Lambert stuff. If Dan Lambert is going to be there every week cutting promos and being a thorn in our side and being such a pain in the ass just to ultimately do nothing, if Scorpio Sky loses here tonight, what is the future of America's Top Team? They just brought in Paige Van Zant. They probably want to keep this whole thing going. Adding a little bit of gold with Scorpio Sky to, tonight would make that whole thing, I guess, more attractive, even though it's not really my favorite angle. I don't give a rat's ass about America Top Team. But I kind of feel like C-Mac's right. Steve Buscemi. Oh, yeah, good point. So that segment we saw earlier with FTR and Tully, they fired him. He's out. Would be a great opportunity to bring in the Briscoes and have Tully bring them in for revenge. Yep. Yep-a-roo. God, it's so funny. Like, there's so much discussion right now on Twitter about people not understanding the Jeff Hardy theme music stuff. I feel like this is something we've talked about ever since Jeff Hardy left WWE. We've talked about the theme music stuff. We said that Tony Khan can probably get it because it's not owned by WWE. So I thought this has been discussed so much that most people were kind of aware of it, but I guess not. You got everybody giving history lessons here. No, WWE doesn't own it, and explaining where it is and where it comes from. I thought everybody kind of knew that. For like 20 years, I've heard Jeff Hardy's, the Hardy Boys theme, and like Bob Holly's theme during like sports highlights on ESPN and shit. It's just, I've always known WWE didn't own it. So I'm glad that they got it for Jeffrey. Come on, Thunder Rosa, wrap this match up. We know you're going to win. Layla Hirsch wins this match. I'm going to poop out a jar of peanut butter. No, my stream has decided just to go black, so I'm going to refresh it. TBS, where did you go? I'm missing a compelling match here. Got to know. Layla did not get all that suplex at all. Jim Ross is right. Would I like to see Hardcore Holly in AEW? Nah, not really. I like Holly. His book was great. But now he's old and retired. Or maybe semi-retired. No need, no use for Holly in AEW, even though I don't dislike him. He doesn't need to be there. Look out, Layla. Yikes. This makes me so fucking nervous. No. Ugh, Jesus Christ, man. I don't know why. God. They were up there way too long. Layla Hirsch is heavy, and I was worried that Rosa was going to be able to pull off that superplex without anybody getting injured. Rosa took her down. Is that going to be it? Nope. Please be careful, ladies. My God. Give Greg a heart attack. Can't do that to the old man. No kidding. The Ricky Lake Show used to use Dean Malenko's WCW theme to introduce the bad guest to the stage. That is the best comment I've ever seen in my life. I like Red Velvet too. Yeah, WCW had a lot of those themes too. It was either owned by somebody else. Some of them might be public domain. Lex Luger's WCW theme was like that. The one that he used when he came back in '95. That da-da-da, da-da-da. That was also the background music that WWE would use when they would plug their hotline, their 900 number, for the Ross reports and all that bullshit. They're going for the finish here. Here we go. Yep, there she is. They always make sure to get Rosa doing that shot on the driver now. Ever since that one she did with Hayter that was making the making the rounds on the webs. All right, Rosa gets the win. She will face the Bakester in San Antonio next week and will likely win the title. Tony with a huge announcement. Did Tony Schiavone say, "Congratulations, girl"? That's awesome. Congrats, Thunder. Steel cage match. See? Doesn't all that complaining seem silly now? She won. There was all that outside interference. They fucking laid everything out to you as easily as possible to understand in terms of the story. And now they're even going one better by putting them in a cage so them girls can't interfere. Oh, I can't believe Britt referenced Thunder Rosa's energy. Look at Rebel, huh? I like the new belt, too. Britt, I fucking love you. You're great. Carney riffraff like her. I like it. In a cage. Perfect. Perfect cherry on top. That's what I referenced on Sunday night because I was like, this is so much better than them doing it, So now they laid everything out to you. Britt's got nowhere to run, nowhere to hide. If they pull an Elimination Chamber SummerSlam 03 like they did with Goldberg, next week and they somehow beat Thunder Rosa, then yeah, maybe I'll be complaining with you guys. But this is where I expected them to go. This is no surprise to me, but it seemed to freak out the entire wrestling world. Match has to main event. Yeah, damn right it does, Ruben. It absolutely does. Give me a good closing shot of Thunder Rosa on the cage, maybe with some blood, holding the title. Oh, my God. Fucking beautiful. Marvelous. Mwah. Give me some of that in seconds. We'll be rooting for hard for Thunder Rosa next week. Do I like any potato chips? Yeah, I actually do. I do like potato chips. I like regular. I don't like to go too crazy. I like regular potato chips. I like salt and vinegar potato chips. I'll eat barbecue potato chips sometimes, but man, those things are disgusting. I like Lay's barbecue. They're great, but man, you eat a fucking bag of those and your fucking breath could strip the paint off a barge. So I usually like to keep it simple with my chips. And I'm trying to eat like better stuff now, like, you know, more like air fried or air popped shit or whatever. Less greasy, but that's kind of hard to do. Even though I'm getting old, I've been really lucky. My body's always been able to metabolize pretty well. And even though, you know, I do eat some junk food, hasn't fucked me up too bad. But I know sometimes when I'm eating something, I'm like, it is not good for me. So I'd like to get better at that. That way y'all can get 90-year-old good Mike work on here doing live streams. Remember 30 years ago when Braun Breaker retired from wrestling? That's what we'll be talking about when I'm 100. We'll be talking about the legend, the living legend, Braun Breaker, who was a 46-time WWE champion and retired in 2060. Yeah, veggie chips I've tried. My boss at work, man, she is a nut when it comes to that, and she has the office loaded with so much snacks like that. So I'm always eating her stuff, and a lot of it is, you know, maybe dried veggie chips or just, vegan stuff and shit like that, you know, that I wouldn't probably buy, but it's like a 50% rate. Like half of it, I taste it, and I'm like, oh, this is really good, and the other half, I'm like, how does she eat this shit? So I don't know. You know what? Even though I hate Dan Lambert and this whole fucking storyline, I am really rooting for Scorpio Sky. Scorpio Sky was one of the initial guys I thought could be one of the early winners of the TNT title. Like, he was the guy I thought could beat Cody for it. Look, they're all here. I'm going to put my bold prediction on the Twitters right now. I'm curious, though, where Sammy does stand with the Inner Circle. I suppose maybe they could come out, or not Inner Circle, but Jericho's secret probation society or whatever the fuck it is. And if they come out here and help him, or if they come out here and screw him. But Van Zant is at ringside. There's going to be a lot of shit. I hope they don't overbook it, but you should put Scorpio over here, man. Rodrigo, no, I am not at a far at all from an In-N-Out burger. There's one within arm's reach of me. I don't love it. It's a California favorite, and I like it. I eat it, but it's usually not a go-to place for me. Sammy, Jesus. I mean, the title defenses, successful ones that Sammy has had, does not make me feel like Scorpio is a real threat to him. But I think there's going to be so much other shit going on, and I think Jericho and maybe in the rest of his company could play a factor too. And if they don't, it just means that Sammy's out there all by himself trying to overcome these odds. Either way, I feel like he could be in some trouble. The only thing that's going to save Sammy here is if it turns out he's still in good with Jericho and Hager. Because if not, I love it when announcers just receive a note. That's my favorite. I've just received. Who the fuck gave you a note? Wouldn't it be like a text? Because Excalibur said that he was wearing an Inner Circle vest when he came out, but he was not. Sammy was just wearing a regular Sammy vest. I know, another former WWE guy. Those fucking pesky Hall of Famers who are marketable and loved by the entire wrestling audience. Why would you bring them in? So silly. I'm sure we'll get some of that on Twitter, though. Who cares? Oh. Nice kick by the Samster. Jay Lambeau, I'm extremely excited that Jeff Hardy showed up. I'm very happy that he's there. Divine, good point, man. I kind of said that Scorpio would be funny if Scorpio won the title and then immediately dropped it to Wardlow, but your idea is better. Scorpio should hold it for a while. I think a week-long run would be funny, but one that wouldn't do any Scorpio that many favors. So Jericho screws Sammy here, MJF screws Wardlow next week, and then Scorpio keeps the belt for a little while. Oh, my God. Ty Conti, you might want to stop at the store and get some batteries. Just saying. Oh, is he okay? Oh, my God. He fucking 450'd himself. Oh, there's Ty Conti right there. Jesus Christ. Oh, why would you do that to yourself? Laying out the match later. I think I ought to take a bump that's going to fucking kill me tonight. His ribs, man. Jesus. Oh, 630. Sorry. What did I call it? A 450? I didn't count my rotations. I think they actually are keeping that center entrance for Jade, to be honest. Yeah, I don't even understand this 2K22 shit because I don't play modern video games, but I see all the talk on Twitter and stuff, and I legit can't tell if it's the worst game ever or if it's a pretty good game because I've seen like both sides. I've seen people just making fun of the terrible like fucking looking graphics and shit, and then other people are like, oh, the gameplay's really smooth, and I know they've had tons of problems with previous games. I remember that last one that came out everybody was complaining about, but I don't understand what about the games it is that makes them so bad. If it's just the fact that they're rushed through and they're glitchy and shit like that is what my understanding was. But I've seen a ton of people shitting on the new game, and I've also seen a ton of people saying the game plays really well. But then I've also seen people say the game isn't out yet. So this is a guy that knows dick about video games. So if you have answers to any of those questions, let me know. Sammy's still down. Conti's tending to him. Graphically, it's impressive. Gameplay-wise, okay, see, I've seen the opposite take. And I don't know which one's right because I don't know shit about the game. So please educate me because I don't know. Servers are down right now. It's crazy that games need servers. I don't need servers for this. WrestleMania, NES. You could play as Hulk Hogan, Andre the Giant, Honky Tonk Man, Bam Bam Bigelow, and I think maybe Hacksaw Jim Duggan. There's like 6 guys you could pick from, and they all weren't even very good. And the hardest guy in the game, I have no idea why, is the Honky Tonk Man. Motherfucker's a bitch, and you can only punch and kick. That's all you can do. And there's 2 moves for everybody. And some guys have like a signature move, but you have to go through a different sequence. And then I remember that the instruction booklet, you know, like I'm sure modern games are still like this. Like if you want to go down to pin somebody, you have to do a certain button combination to pin the guy. But on that game, each guy had a different button combination for his pin. Do they do that now with video games? If they do, I'm really glad I don't play them because that fucking made me so mad. All right, Sammy's up. He's ready to rock. 5 minutes left, guys. Sammy's like, bring it. He's spitting his face. Thank you for the $5, Max. Have I ever thought about making a video on your common gripes with the radical fans? My channel was kind of born that way. I don't think I want to go into that now. I save Twitter for that. I do a lot of complaining about the idiots on Twitter. Not a lot, but I do a fair amount. So if I have anything to like kind of get out of my system, I'll generally do it there. Making a whole video of it is only, I don't know. I'm not trying to just bring in that much negativity, and I don't want people revisiting the same video over and over just to argue with each other in the comments and, you know, stuff like that. I know those videos can sometimes get a lot of likes and stuff, and views, but I have to care. I'm not the same as I was 12 years ago when I started the channel. I have to care about somebody enough to make a video about them, and I really don't care about stupid fans. They might annoy me, and I'll voice it on Twitter, but I don't know. And I'll rant here or there in a podcast. That's probably all the best you'll get out of me. Whole video, I don't know if I'm really into that. You might see that in mic drops, though. Little shorts. Maybe I'll crop out something, some little rant I had, and put it on the tube. All right, we are down to, 4 minutes left in this contest here. Conti's now on the outside of the ring, backing up poor Sammy. She's going to have to watch him lose. Sammy's had 0 offense whatsoever since that big bump. Oh, yeah. I'm sure the competition is pretty ugly in the gaming world, too. I have a friend who works for PlayStation. She's worked for them for 5 or 6 years now. Loves it. Loves it. Oh, my God. She can't say enough good things about it. And I admire, I'd envy that. To be able to do something that I was a big fan of. You know, she's a gamer. She does all that stuff. So it's a perfect job for her. It'd be like one of us getting a job in AEW. Doing shit there or something. It'd be like a dream job for many. Yeah, Sammy to be even fighting at all at this point. You better get to the finish here. We got less than 3 minutes left. Yeah, see, I don't even know what GM mode is or any of that stuff. It's just a mode where you play where you're the GM and you make your own matches or something. So I don't know. Yeah, maybe that was Sammy's little tribute to Jeff Hardy. And on Rampage, on that triple threat they had, that finish was how Jeff Hardy won the championship at Armageddon 2008. Wow, he is still able to execute that cutter. And his back is red. You can see. Whew, man. Jesus. Oh, I thought my stream just buffered on me. GTH. He's got him. He can't cover, though. He rolled to the outside. Yeah, he's going for his, something's going to happen here. Oh, shooting star, knees up. Am I behind or something? There's like 1 minute left in the show. I still feel like we have stuff going to happen. Conti getting in Paige's face. Oh, Paige Van Zandt takes out Conti. Oh, my God. The Jezebel. Uh-oh, uh-oh. TKO. New champ. And we saw no Jericho. So I said that was a possibility. Jericho could either come out and screw him, or they could just stay away completely, letting him fend for himself, and the numbers game will catch up to him. Okay, so another thing I hope they do here is let's go to one championship now, you know? And the tag team title. That's right. He's a 2-time title holder now. Good for him. Paige is taking out Conti. All right. Well, that was pretty cool. We saw a title change. I thought overall this was a really fun Dynamite tonight. And there's Paige signing the contract. I love it. Signing it on Conti's ass. Perfect. Right on. Fun stuff. Well, I really enjoyed that show. We had a title change in the main event. Jeff Hardy showed up as we were hoping. Hangman Page had a great, successful, quick little title defense against Dante Martin. Wardlow, I think, cut a pretty good promo tonight. Thunder Rosa earned her title shot next week. That match is going to be a cage match against Britt Baker. Tonight's show was solid. Really good show. Fun stuff. Really excited for next week's St. Patrick's Day Slam. So I'm going to go ahead and get out of here now, guys. Thank you again for watching Dynamite with me. It's a blast to do this every single Wednesday. I will be up here this weekend for a podcast, and we are going to be up here this Sunday for a WrestleMania, classic WrestleMania watch-along. So I did not hear Tony say Ty and Sammy were married unless they did something privately. I'm not aware of that, but we'll talk more about that this week, and we'll probably elaborate a little bit more on tonight's Dynamite when we get to the podcast this weekend, and then we'll hang out on Sunday and watch WrestleMania together. You guys take care. Have a great, great, great rest of your Wednesday night.